My name is Louisa Higgins. I'm the Arts Administrator for Riverside County Office of Education, and we pulled together this occasion in order to introduce teachers and students in Southern California, in the Coachella Valley and beyond, and throughout California, because I understand we might have guests from further afield. But we wanted to create an awareness of this fantastic program and really convey just how accessible and affordable it is. And that's why we called it From Dream to Screen. So if you're students or you're a student who has dreams of working in media arts, we want to really convey to you how that's possible. And so there's usually two kinds of students that get involved: students that want to pursue film studies and students who want to get some new skills to enhance what they're doing professionally. So I'd like to introduce Laura Lee Jackson. She's the Assistant Professor of Media Productions, and she's going to host and take you through our event today. So thank you for joining.
All right, Louisa and everyone at the Riverside County Office of Education, thank you for inviting us to do this little plug on our program. We have an expanding media program. It's getting bigger every year, and we see enrollment up, and also our offerings are up. We're offering more courses, curriculum, and we're really making it relevant to the students. And ultimately, we are in hopes of having our students succeed in this big media world, which is a big umbrella for a lot of the different departments we have. But we're going to break it all down for you and have some of our faculty explain some of the courses they teach and some of their experience, and we'll go from there. So I put together a little presentation, just kind of an overview of our program. I will go ahead and start that, and then at the end we can talk a little bit more about ourselves and what we teach and how it applies to students and their success in this industry. So let me go ahead and start this, and I think I've got it here. Are you guys seeing a screen?
Yes.
Okay, and you know what? I have to hit that audio button, don't I?
Yeah, just back out of it.
I don't think I did that. Let's try one more time. Share computer sound. Okay, so here we go.
Perfect.
Now it's asking for my password. Okay.
College of the Desert's media production program includes film, radio, television, journalism, and mass communication. We are equipping and empowering students to be multimedia storytellers in a digital world. Our faculty are including engaging instructors who are excellent in the classroom and have real working industry experience. Career opportunities include jobs as filmmakers, news anchors, producers, writers, DJs, sports reporters, unique content creators for various media platforms, to just name a few of the career opportunities. We have associate degrees in film production, film, television, and electronic media, journalism, mass communication, all to help students get entry-level jobs or transfer to a four-year school. We also have some unique certificates of achievement in basic film production, advanced film production, film post-production, film production management, and basic radio production. Also closely aligned with our media program is our digital design and production program. Now, this is the study of computer graphic design for print, as well as design and animation for the web and mobile devices. Some associate degrees offered in this area include digital design and production, graphic design and marketing. Certificates of achievement include digital design and production, photography, and there's also a non-credit certificate, Digital Imaging Certificate of Achievement. The faculty member overseeing this program is also part of our presentation today. She will speak about this a little bit more in detail. Students are creating short films and unique content that you can check out on the COD Film YouTube channel. They're also writing stories for the Chaparral newspaper. And starting this spring, we will be having a magazine called Discover, where students will write more feature stories and create a magazine layout design online and in print. Very exciting. We'll be hearing more about that in a little bit. We also have KCOD, our national award-winning radio station. It can be heard at TuneIn, and you can download the KCOD app, a great radio station with a variety of student programming and some community programming as well. We also have internship opportunities in journalism, radio, film. Some of our students are interning at Desert Sun, NBC Palm Springs, KESQ, Channel 3, Palm Springs Life Magazine, Market Broadcasting, Alpha Media, KCOD, and the Palm Springs International Short Festival and the Palm Springs International Film Society. So lots of great opportunities for our students to get some real life experience right here in the Coachella Valley. Some student work now. At this time, we'd like to share with you some of our students' work, so sit back and enjoy.
Para mí sí fue una experiencia muy grande eso, pero más fuerte fue que mi esposo agarró el virus y él en realidad sí se puso muy grave, que él pensaba que se iba a morir. Pues lo más difícil para mí es que lo miraba que él decía que no alcanzaba respiración.
Sometimes I don't know what I'm doing, but the only thing I know is I do what I love. Many people ask me why you have to spend a lot of time and money on all that stuff. Do you think that it is right for you?
With FaceCrook, you get to decide what political ads fit your personal biases to help you keep spewing your inconceivable, very refutable, quite literally the opposite of fact throughout your own personal social media bubble.
Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Hey yo, bro! Director! Who am I? I don't know.
You're a lazy guy.
But you're also an athlete. You're also a church boy, but only because your mom says so.
The name's Zach, your friendly neighborhood computer guy. You wanna hold on. Oh no, let me just. Oh, why is this up here? Okay, there we go. Okay.
This is me. Oh, the me you'll normally see. So, let's get down to basics. My mom moved from Mexicali to here, Indio. I was born and raised here in the Coachella Valley. I have a sister. Her name is Jessica. She tends to be a bit aggressive.
Who am I? I'm an overthinking, logistical, nerd-loving, film-making, video game-playing, introverted, narcoleptic, rhyme-proficient rapper who watches too many movies. I have OCD, anxiety, and depression, and I'm long-distance with my girlfriend.
Managing multiple commitments and attempts to stay sane. It isn't easy, but let's be realistic here. Nothing ever is.
Seeing the process of how much fun it is to create a visual story really drew me into becoming a filmmaker of my own.
I am a retired Marine. I am a video production business owner. And the most important thing that makes me who I am today are my children.
I got into makeup at a really young age, and it's been, again, another crazy ride. But if you ever need your makeup done, just hit me up. I got some tips if you need tips too.
I like natural lighting and leaving the windows open. I like reading and writing and taking pictures of my friends. But most important of all, I love film.
The Chaparral newspaper is an opportunity for journalism students to take part in something where they become staff members and actually create a newspaper that is producing stories on a weekly basis. During the pandemic, the students have been producing the digital paper. When we are back in person, we will be doing the print version again. But this is an opportunity for students to have a voice at College of the Desert, and the publication has actually been around since 1962. You can see all the different categories of stories. We have campus news, local student life, arts and entertainment, opinion, sports, and the staff that produces this are working hard every semester. It is a 100% lab class with an advisor, and the students are creating a portfolio and actually having samples to share with future employers. And exciting news, several of the students, the editors and staff members have actually gotten internships with the Desert Sun newspaper. So it is a great opportunity to get some hands-on experience.
We here at KCOD are proud to serve College of the Desert, represent the community, and be a platform for students to best express themselves. a learning environment where talent sprouts and creativity blossoms. From metal,
welcome to the Mosh Pit, hosted by Eddie Brick. If you're into gnarly guitar riffs, machine gun-like kick drums, and killer vocals that will make you want to headbang and start a circle pit, this is the show for you.
To reggae.
Hey, it's DJ Alizé on KCOD, Coachella FM in Palm Desert. You're locked into rock-steady reggae, spinning all genres of reggae. Dancehall, soca, lovers rock, island reggae, roots reggae, Cali reggae, all from the past and present. You want it, and we're playing it.
From civics?
You're listening to KCOD 99.9 Coachella FM. This is GOTV, the podcast for political candidates and consultants new and old. My name is Tony, and on this episode, we're going to be talking about life hacks for a successful political campaign and going over comprehensive checklists for anyone who wants to run for public office.
To sports.
Major sporting and other entertainment events have been deeply affected by the coronavirus here in our valley. The BNP Paribas has also been postponed and not yet scheduled a makeup date. Longtime attendee and tennis writer Bill Simons of Inside Tennis talked to KCOD about what he felt about the postponement.
We knew it might happen, but there's something about Indian Wells. It's such a marker. It's such a key moment in...
We also have some pretty neat community hosts.
Hey everybody, welcome to Open Book on KCOD Coachella FM 99.9, your bi-weekly deep dive into frankly the depressing lives of artists.
Let's also throw in some great artist interviews at none other than Coachella, like Tony Bacall and Giselle Wu sitting down with S.G. Lewis.
Your desire for slower tempo always brings audiences wonderful, soulful voices. How do you find these amazing collaborations, and can you describe the moment when you know you want to work with an artist?
Yeah, I guess like it really comes from just being a fan. Like it's never a kind of like audition process or anything. It's just like if I'm listening to someone and I've had a moment of connection with their music, then hopefully that's an opportunity for that to lead to collaboration.
Sorry, these are so great.
They're great questions. Thank you.
Great answer.
Our students have produced decorated content such as sweepers,
You're listening to Poolside here on KCOD 99.9 Coachella FM.
promotions,
They're creepy and they're kooky, mysterious and spooky. They're all together ooky, the Addams Family,
and public service announcements.
Disabled American Veterans Chapter 78 is very dedicated to servicing the needs of disabled veterans and their families and fulfills their promises to the men and women who have served.
Our award-winning program is more than just an educational space. The students, community contributors, advisors, faculty, and staff, it's a family. One of the best community college stations in the nation. This is what makes us KCOD Coachella FM.
And finally, our digital design and production students have created some fascinating photography, animation, logos, designs for both print, animation, and the web. And it's an exciting program with a lot of great opportunities.
All right. So in a nutshell, that's kind of encompasses our program. And I know we wanted to show you some of the students' work because they are really the ones who are making this program amazing and what they can do and create and actually have the tools to know how to do it. And some of their work is very, very fabulous. So I'm going to let more of the teachers, instructors at College of the Desert talk more specifically about some of the stuff you've seen. But just really quick, I'll start with my introduction and then I'm going to turn it over to, I think I see Vinny and then Tony, and we'll go down the list and give each instructor a few minutes to talk about what they do and their experience. I am the full-time media production instructor at College of the Desert. I have been at the college, believe it or not, for 20 years, 15 years part-time, 5 years full-time. And before that, I was an anchor reporter for 2 stations here locally, KESQ TV3, and then also CBS2, reporting, producing, anchoring. Before that, I was back east working at a station in Virginia. But I love this field. Media is changing rapidly. Technology has given us so many opportunities to do great things. And one thing I noticed about all of the program, different classes and programs we offer, media is multimedia. It is professionals and students need to learn how to write a solid story. They need to know how to edit. They need to know how to use audio. They need to know how to make a film, tell a story through various platforms. And that's one thing we're really proud we're offering our students. And it's one of the reasons I included digital design and production in our program today as well, because we're working together to create some really relevant programs and curriculum for our students. So anyway, just wanted to say hi. I'm going to turn it over to Vinny now, let him speak. And then if any of you have any questions, we'll all come back and answer them for you. So thanks.
Thank you, Lauralee. Thank you so much. It was a great presentation. My name is Vincent Sassone, and I am an adjunct film instructor at College of the Desert. I've had the privilege these last 5 years of developing the program, the film program, which it started about 20 years ago, and we had 3 courses when I got here: Introduction to Film and 2 film production courses, all started by Mike Gladich, who still teaches in the program. I picked up the ball there and started developing other courses. We now have a full spectrum of film courses that could rival any universities. I'm very excited about that. I didn't do that alone. I did that with a team of wonderful instructors, starting with Kevin Lyons, who's not with us here today. He had another appointment, but we've rounded out our team with Jeff Hudson, who you'll see today, Stephanie Bell, Scott Colwell, Mark Christopher. All of these people are people who are working industry professionals, film professionals. We're producers, we're writers, we're directors, we're behind the scenes in some other way, cinematographers, editors. So we're working, and we're also teaching. And it's always been an important part of my film career to be able to teach, because I'm so passionate about it. And for 2 reasons, not just as film studies, to be able to learn how to make film, which is what so many of us want, and we have at the college. We have a pathway for that. We can teach you how to make movies and get you ready to go on to either making them yourselves or transferring out to another program. But we're also, and this is where I've always had the thing for it, teaching you how to make money, how to get a job, how to work, how to use your skills. And more, film and video is a place where you can use your skills, whether it's creating content, working in the political environment, in the marketing environment, anything. Just turn around, look around, you can see all that content has to be made by somebody, and filmmakers are making it. And our program addresses both, and that's why I'm very excited about it. Just want to quickly give you a little overview of the courses, and then I'll turn it around for the others to talk about. But we've got 3 film production courses, and they are film production 1, 2, and 3. You gradually get more and more responsibility, more into it, more independence, and it's a wonderful engine that pushes the entire program. And around that, we teach cinematography, editing, acting for the camera, producing. We've got production design course coming up right now too. We've got documentary filmmaking to specialize in that. We've got one overall course called Introduction to Film that a lot of people take because it gives you an idea of why, how to appreciate film, how to apply it to all of these other courses. And very exciting, we just started a production management series of courses taught by Stephanie Bell. That's going to get its first flight this semester. Very excited about that. And we've got a new set of courses coming in the fall, one of which is creative content, which addresses this whole idea of making short form video content for a variety of clients or in a variety of fields. So that's it in a nutshell. You can ask questions, but just know that you don't have to go searching for your heart's desire all over the place to find a film program. It is right here in your own backyard in Riverside County in Coachella Valley, and it's taught by some pretty good people, and we're excited about it, and we want you to come on over and take some of our courses.
All right, Vinny, thank you. Yes, you gave a nice overview of the film program. So I'm gonna go through faculty and just call on whoever I see next in the squares here. So we'll jump around a little bit from film, radio, television, journalism, but that's okay. Tony Bacall is one of the faculty members, super instrumental in the development and success of KCOD. So I'm gonna let her talk about her course and a bit about our national awards we're up for again this year. We're very excited.
Thanks, Lauralee. Yes, we are very excited. KCOD was nominated for the 4th time for Best Community College Radio Station in the nation. We're very excited. These awards are hard to get nominated for, and they're hard to win. So we're just, every time we get nominated, we're through the roof. And the students that have gotten nominated, from PSAs to sports updates, it means everything to a student to find out that, you know, a sweeper they produced in class is suddenly nationally recognized. So the awards mean a lot. KCOD is an amazing opportunity for College of the Desert students to use it as a testing ground to start producing and making things. And we have a basic radio production certificate with many classes. There's a radio announcing, radio and TV broadcast writing, and then I teach intro to radio production. And then Professor Zatarain is here. He takes over after me with intermediate and advanced radio production. But my course is the place where students who want to get involved with KCOD come first, typically, because they learn about all the departments in radio. There's 6 projects across the semester that ultimately just get them prepared to produce a radio special on their own independently. So by the end of producing sweepers and campus updates and interview projects and learning everything they can, they produce either a 30-minute talk program, mixed media show, or a 60-minute music show. And we've created independent creative producers into the semester. So whether they want to get in radio or TV or film or magazines or newspapers, we teach them how to produce and make it happen. So they move on to Professor Zatarain's courses in intermediate and advanced, and that's where they produce series that air on KCOD. So that's the structure and the format, and we have a lot of student volunteers that DJ, and we've gotten something like 45, 50 national nominations since 2013. So it's a wonderful place where students find their voice and they find each other and they create and they collaborate together and make really wonderful content that airs on KCOD. So thank you.
All right, Tony, thank you. Yes, and Tony actually a few years ago won Best National Radio Personality in the nation. She was a student back in a couple years ago, and now we are thrilled to have her faculty. She is super experienced and just really great with the students and encouraging them. And one thing I want to say about radio, I know a lot of my students in mass media are like, radio's so old school. It really is not. A lot of the skills we're teaching in radio, we can teach, and students can create podcasts too. Those are big right now. So anyway, I'm going to turn it over to Alex Zatarain and let him talk about his more advanced radio production courses.
Hi, thanks, Laura Lee. Yeah, so I take over after Tony, who went right before me. I do RTV 007A and B, which would be intermediate and advanced. And basically, you know, Tony gives them all the tools to be able to put together their own content. And then once they get to me, it's all about refining the ideas and the production process. And we have a lot of fun because throughout the semester, they put together 5 episodes, whether it be talk, mixed media, or music, 30-minute or 1-hour shows. And we teach them how to best utilize their time in a radio setting. And as also mentioned, is radio is not dying. Terrestrial radio is one thing, but podcast is still radio. That's still audio work. That's still stuff that is growing, and it has grown significantly over the last year as we have been in a pandemic, of course. But right now is a really good time to go ahead and obtain those skills, and we use the teaching time to give them those skills and have them work forward. I'll also be teaching RTV 003, which is sports media, where as a credentialed soccer writer, I go ahead and pass on those skills to students who want to learn a little bit more about the sports media environment. And from there, we'll work on audio work, written skills, so on and so forth, to be able to get them ready to have a better idea of what it takes to be in that field. So, and just to go back, KCOD has been an amazing part of my life. I actually got involved as a student back in 2017, and now being able to teach it and work with students to create content has been one of the greatest experiences that I've been able to have at just 28 years old. So I'm super hyped for what we have what we have going on and where we're heading.
All right, Alex, thank you. You are fascinating, and I love hearing you talk, and you are great with the students as well. And I wanted to thank Alex for putting together that KCOD mashup of all of our sample work. A lot of those were our nominations for our awards this year. So thank you for putting that together. I really appreciate it. And thank you to Scott for putting together the video mashup of some of the work from fall 2020 from the students in the film production classes. Scott is new to us at College of the Desert. We're very excited to have him on board. So Scott, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you'll be teaching and about your past experience?
Sure. Like you said, I'm fairly new. Last semester was my first semester teaching, and I taught the first level of film production. And this semester, I'll be co-teaching with Kevin, who's not here today. We'll be teaching the intermediate and advanced, or capstone, of film production. I'll say that I'm super excited to be part of the team. I love the program because, as Vinny said, it's teaching you real skills that you can immediately put to work to get work, making you employable. And to me, that was always a big part of my college experience, was getting the skills that can help me get a job, basically. So I really enjoyed the program and had fun so far. About me, my background, I've been in the industry 25 years, now that it's 2021. And a bulk of that was in the PBS infrastructure, which was really beneficial because it's kind of a mix of broadcast and film style production, a lot of documentaries, a lot of children's programming, but I also did a lot of freelance on the side. So everything from live sports to short films and even a few like independent features. I definitely have a personal preference work-wise as an editor, but I've been everything from a cinematographer to a DP to an EP to a producer, director, etc. So, and I echo what like Tony and Alejandro said, that the radio stuff is relevant to podcasts, and all of that stuff is relevant to film too, because audio is half of your film. So it's amazing the full breadth of things you can take at COD and get experience to transition you into the real world.
All right, Scott, thank you so much. And we're so thrilled to, again, have you on board at COD. Lisa Capozzi is next. And Lisa, I'm going to let her talk about the courses she teaches. But I want to say one thing about Lisa. When we are in or on campus, I have the privilege of having my office right next to our classroom, media classroom, and I get to hear Lisa teach. And she's amazing. She has so much great experience and just so much passion and so much love for her students. And I'm really thankful to have her with us as well. So Lisa, I'll let you take over.
Well, thank you very much, Laura-Lee. I appreciate that nice compliment. I teach broadcast writing, which encompasses so many things. You know, when you're in my class, you get the opportunity to really play and write copy for TV commercials, radio commercials. You get to write a script for a TV show, and you get a lot of exposure to writing news. And so I get really excited about it because I get to see your scripts throughout the semester. And what's really fun is when we're doing it on Zoom, we're really interacting with other students. So you're looking at other people's scripts, I'm looking at your scripts, we're reading them aloud on Zoom. I mean, it's a lot of fun. And I always tell my students that, you know, we're all born with seeds of greatness. And so I'm here for all my students to water their seeds of greatness and to see them bloom and blossom into working journalists, working script writers. And so I get really excited when I see them progress from the first week to the 16th week. Now, this coming semester, we've squished it into 8 weeks. So you can start my broadcast writing course in a couple weeks here, and you'll be through and writing all of that material over an 8-week block of time every Tuesday, Thursday, with me on Zoom and on your own. So that's one of the classes I teach. The other one I teach is photojournalism, Journalism 007. And we're going to be offering that for the first time this semester. It doesn't start till April. But if you're excited about taking photos of what's happening in the world and you want to see what makes a good news photo, just look at what's happening in the news right now and all the photos out there of the inauguration and before that, the Capitol protests. I mean, we're going to be comparing and contrasting what makes a good photo. And then you're going to be out taking photos, and you'll get the opportunity to have those published in our Chaparral newspaper. So that's really exciting. My background is I've been in the industry for 40 years. I've been a TV newscaster. I had an internship when I was in college, and that made a world of difference. I interned at a TV station. I've also worked as an actress. I have an agent in LA, and I've worked as an actress for many years in a Screen Actors Guild actor. So, done commercials, done film, done TV shows. And now I'm really getting into producing, and I've partnered up with Jeff Hudson, who's another professor in the department, and we've co-written a TV pilot. So we're really excited to be shopping that around as well. So I look forward to seeing all of you. My seeds of greatness, come to me, I'll water you. Okay.
And you do, Lisa. You're so nurturing with the students, and I love it. I wish I was a student again. I would take your class several times. And another person I had the opportunity of listening to is Jeff Hudson. He also it's kind of a weird setup at our college. We have a classroom in our radio station, and also a couple offices and our studios. But Jeff taught one of the broadcast announcing classes there, and again, fascinating, great rapport. The students loved him. And Jeff, I'm going to let you talk about what you're teaching this spring.
Thanks. Hi, guys. My name is Jeff Hudson, and I'm teaching broadcast announcing this spring. It also doesn't start until April. It's from April 5th to May 28th. It's all online. I actually am new to the College of the Desert as well. I started in fall of 2019. I taught film production 1 twice, and this will be my second time teaching broadcast announcing, so I'm super excited. But also just super excited to be part of this team. As I always tell you guys, I love this group that I'm amongst. My background, I've also been in the industry for about 25 years. I was the executive producer of the Doctors Talk Show with Travis Stork, who is also The Bachelor. I was EP on Deserving Design on HGTV. I've done a lot of talk shows, a few different reality shows, a lot of dating shows. Eliminate, which is probably now about 15 years old. But my background is pretty much in TV. I currently am developing a bunch of projects, so I'm still very much involved in the industry. I go back and forth between Palm Springs and Los Angeles. I'm currently actually about to pitch 2 pretty major unscripted shows with some major talent, which I'm very excited about, and has my time pretty much all bottled for the next couple of weeks, but it's exciting. And like Lisa said, I'm also, for the very first time, which is I'm actually a student in this world, pitching a scripted show. So, and I just want to go back to what Vinny and Laura Lee were saying earlier. One of my passions about teaching, and why I love teaching so much, and why it's also important to me, is that you never stop learning. You always continue to learn, especially in this industry, because it's continuously evolving. It's always changing. It's always, you're getting more technology, you're getting more stations, you're getting more outlets, whatever the case may be. So it's always evolving. And it's so important to really, get your feet wet and try everything out, because you never know what you might end up wanting to do. Real quickly before I end, a funny story, and this just happened to me today. When I worked at the Doctors as the EP, we used to hire interns to come in every semester to help out with the production. And you really, nowadays, back then, you didn't necessarily have to be in school to get an internship, but nowadays you do. You have to be in school or be taking classes to get internships, which is why it's even more important for you guys to take as many courses as you want so you can get internships. But I had a guy that was amazing. He was a rock star. He came into the Doctors, which was a medical show, and he ultimately today was announced that he has a recurring acting role on Shameless. Completely different lane, but his start was at the Doctors. He started meeting people. It all started to snowball for him. And now, who knows, in 10 years from now, he might be getting an Academy Award for acting. So do as much as you can, try out as much as you can, and I hope to work with you guys and see you in my class. You could email me at jehudson@collegeofthedesert.edu, and I'd love to chat with you guys more about it if you want to.
All right, Jeff, awesome. Thank you so much. Ron DeGenova is here, and Ron and I are both Canadians, so we have that connection. Ron has worked in both Canadian broadcasting and American broadcasting, and I remember sitting in on one of your intro to film classes, Ron, and you really taught me how to watch a movie in a completely different way, which I absolutely loved. But I'm going to let you share a bit about your background and what you teach.
Thank you, Lorelei. Yes, I do emphasize a lot in my intro to film class what makes a movie great and why some of these classics have gone down in history to become classics. So I spent a lot of time in training my students how to break down that script and how to analyze it. So by the time they go on to one of our script writing classes, they've learned a lot about the 3-act structure, and they learned a lot about story development and learned a lot about character development. And that's very, very important. And they learn and take away a lot of that information that if they end up going into story development and screenwriting, etc., they've already built that foundation. My background, as Lorelei had mentioned, is that I come from Canada. I've worked for the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. I was there for about 7 years. I was a writer, producer, director, mostly in the area of children's television programming, and then bridged onto the YTV television network, which is Canada's equivalent to Nickelodeon. And I had developed a number of shows for them as well. But it's also interesting that as I talk about my past, and Jeff was talking about how that he was able to help some people in launch their careers. I remember that when I immigrated to the United States and I was producing an independent film, I gave a shot to this one young lady for her first acting gig. And because of that one acting gig that she did, it landed her an agent and landed her a regular role on All My Children. So it's amazing how that these things can all spiral. So you never know where that today could lead to a bigger tomorrow. So please keep that in mind when you think about that. But I've now been at the College of the Desert for about 5 years now. I can't believe it. It just seems like it was yesterday when I met Lorelei when I first started here, and now it's been 5 years. My God, where did the time go? But I've enjoyed it tremendously. And I've been talking to Vinny about developing this course that he mentioned, which is creating an in-house production company. My focus is obviously to try to be able to create programs where that you can apply what you learn in the classroom and take it to the real world. That's why I hold a CTE teaching credential. I want to make sure that whatever the students learn in the classroom can bridge that into the real world applications. And what I've been doing in this past year, I was hired over a year ago, to work for a nonprofit in developing an in-house production company, which I did. It was spearheaded by actually John Travolta's brother, Joey Travolta, who hired me, and I was creating this for them. And we produced a half-hour TV pilot for PBS, which aired this past June on the PBS television network. So what I'm trying to do is work collaboratively with people like Vinny in trying to create an in-house COD production house where that what you do and what you learn in the classroom is going to be actually utilized in the real world in this production company and work with real clients that you will get paid for. So that's what I'm focusing on and looking forward to the future. And I hope that you guys will feel excited and wanting to join me with that path. Thank you so much.
All right, Ron, thank you. It's so great to see you. Mary Brill is here. She is not technically in our media production program, but she is heading up the digital design and production program, which really kind of blend with us. And that's why I invited her today to talk a little bit about what she teaches. And welcome, Mary. Mary, I think you have to turn your mic on.
Yes. Thank you so much, Lorelei. Thank you so much for having me. I am so excited about talking about digital design production at COD. I've been there for about 6 years. I'm here 1 year full time, and I am not the only one. I have about 5 faculty adjuncts that teach a variety of software and subject matter. And we practice what we teach. I have been working in the field, working with nonprofit organizations for many, many years, doing graphic design, web development, and I'm able to share that with my students. And you know, it's something that I really enjoy doing, and because I have a passion for it. I love what I do, and so do the rest of our adjuncts. Digital media, digital design production crosses over many areas, as Laura Lee was mentioning. It also crosses into art and marketing. Everywhere you look, you see the benefits of graphic design, typography, principles of design. We have 5 fabulous faculty members. Our program continues to grow. We have classes this semester in graphic design, advertising design, photography, digital photography, video production, and video post-production, motion graphics, 3D animation. We have access, free access now for our students the Adobe Creative Cloud, so our students do not have to purchase it. We also offer opportunities for our students to earn Adobe certification, which helps them when they get out into the field to show that they know what they're doing, because it's a rigorous course that once they pass it, they're able to have that certification and post it on their social media. We also have work experience that we utilize and with local organizations, as well as a new one that we've implemented with a global virtual internship program for this semester and the next few years that we've got funding for. So, you know, we continue to grow and, you know, offer a lot of the software and the support to the film community and to the film program. So we're very excited to be a part of this family. So thank you for including us.
I thank you, Mary, and you've actually inspired me to go through some of the certification courses as well. So they're very exciting. So thank you. Joe Martin is next. He is new to College of the Desert. Welcome, Joe. And then Stephanie Bell will be our last faculty. So Joe, I'll let you take a few minutes to introduce yourself and talk about what you'll be teaching this spring.
I didn't realize I was going to be talking, so I'm doing dual enrollment I'm at Palm Desert High School. So I'm teaching the first film production class to some students here at the high school. I'm in the classroom right now. I wish I could show you the facilities. I could probably change my background. I'm going to try to do that because we did get, we're in a brand new studio space that we built here at the school. So this is the studio. So over to my, there's always mirrored. On this side, we've got a big green screen wall. And then this is the television studio. We're using Blackmagic cameras and software. And this is the control room. So this looks kind of out right into the studio. So again, we've got the switcher, audio, everything in here. So it's really pretty close to what they would see in a real TV studio. And then this is our audio radio room, which I worked with Tony to get some equipment list. And so we've got the same kind of setup as what they have over there. So yeah, we got this all put together. Well, our school classes all ended on March 13th. And then we got this all put together in May. So now I've got everything ready to go and I've got no students that can really use it. So we are doing Skills USA. Actually this Saturday, I've got our broadcast news team is competing and they won gold at regionals last year, but then they canceled state and national. So it's all being done virtual. And then I've also got I got a television video production team, 2 of those. I've got digital cinema. In fact, they're here on campus right now, down in the lecture hall filming a couple scenes for their short film. And then we're doing an audio radio production team. They're gonna compete on the weekend of January 30th. So they're working on kind of a podcast, like a 5-minute radio show with a 30-minute commercial spot. So You're getting a lot of good opportunities. It's just kind of hard when you don't have students here on campus to actually use the equipment. But I am having them do a lot. We have access to WeVideo and Chromebooks right now. So all the students are working on some type of project, and we're doing script writing right now. So anyway, that's kind of where I'm at here.
All right, Joe, thank you. And dual enrollment, I know we've been working with some high schools about creating dual enrollment so students can take classes at the high school, and we will honor them into the transition to College of the Desert. So Joe is one of our dual enrollment instructors, but thank you for sharing what you do. And
just real quick too, I invited several students, but one showed up. Gianni is here. He's actually started as one of our news anchors. So I was hoping I'd get more students here, but hopefully he can share what he learns today from you all to other students. Because I do have several students in this program that are planning on going to COD next year or the year after. So I just hope we can keep, being a really good feeder school to the COD program.
Yeah. Thanks, Joe. And this will be recorded, and Louisa will be putting it on the website, the county website. She can give you more information about that. So anyone who did not attend today can actually see what we're all about. Stephanie, welcome. Stephanie's also new and has some exciting new classes to teach this spring. So Stephanie, why don't you tell us about those?
Sure. Well, thank you so much for, I'm just so excited to become an adjunct professor here this year. And I've listened to some of these seminars before where I've heard about all the different classes. I'm thinking, gosh, I want to take, if I'm going to be taking all these classes, it is really remarkable. I have to tell you, I've been in the industry now for about 30 years, starting off as an actress. And when I was going to college, these kinds of things were not available to students. And we are setting you up in such a fantastic way to dive into working in the industry with so many different skill sets that will allow you really, as a lot of the different teachers have been talking about, to try different things that interest you. A lot of people start off thinking they want to be a director or writer or producer, and then they realize after taking some of these classes or being out there and actually working in the field that their interest goes to something else. So I'm very excited that I'm going to be teaching scheduling, budgeting, set management, and location management. And those may seem sometimes like very kind of dry and not particularly interesting subject matters, but they require a lot of creativity, believe it or not. And so I'm very excited to share that with you guys and explain the importance of understanding, particularly scheduling and budgeting. You cannot create a budget without understanding what kind of a schedule you're going to have. They're intertwined with each other. So those are two classes to take hand in hand. Each of these are individual classes, but I really recommend if you do take one, you take the other, because they really do work together. And they will prepare you for the set management and location management element of filmmaking. And what I'm excited to be doing, particularly because I'm starting in March, some of these classes will be, your short films that you're writing. So we're going to be either utilizing some of the scripts that I've worked on, some of the award-winning short films that I've done, but also give you the opportunity to work on your own scripts. So again, we'll be working hand in hand with you to kind of help you have an overall experience of what it means to be in the film production world. And in that, you'll be learning, all the different job descriptions too, what these different jobs entail and how important they are to understand, again, not only budgeting, but how you schedule them. The production designers, the costume designers, they all have input to a certain degree when you're doing something with a schedule and also a budget, because a lot of the times line producers require the different departments to create a budget for you, so you know how to plug them in. The production designers are going to know much better than I will as a line producer what the different elements are, what kind of crew they're going to need, how much they're going to be renting, how much they're going to be building. So these are all things that we'll be exploring in the classes, and it's going to give you, I believe, a very strong foundation for understanding that. So you can take that with you, regardless of whether you become a producer or a line producer and have to create these on your own. You'll be adding to that when you're in the film world. So these are really good basic elements, and a lot of these classes schools, I don't think, offer these kind of courses to people. So I think the fact that we're doing this here at College of the Desert, it's going to be a great opportunity to really set you up for success. And I do want to repeat what Jeff had said, which is, one of the things that's so wonderful about the creative world that we're in is that everything is different. You're always learning new things. You never have the same experience twice. And so you can take what you've learned in one thing and apply it, but you'll always be learning new things. You'll have new challenges. And that's part of the excitement and the fun of it. It's the challenge of it. But ultimately, when you rise above those and you figure out those problems and you resolve them and you create this amazing piece of art, what a wonderful accomplishment to be able to enjoy. So I'm very excited to be a part of this, and I'll put my information in. I'm still getting onboarded, so right now my email address is going to be my business email address at my production company. So I'll add that, and then obviously when I get my College of the Desert email, I'll share that with you as well. But I do want people to feel free to ask me questions in advance. I've already had some people reach out to me and ask questions about the class, and I've been able to clarify things for them. So I'm more than happy to do that with you. And I'm just excited again to be a part of just my background. I'm sorry. I'm an Emmy nominated producer, line producer, was an actress, started in New York City, off Broadway, came to LA, and have been out here for 25 years now, and just have worked in business and legal affairs at Paramount Pictures, and worked for a bunch of different production companies. I've got 2 of my own production companies, and I'm going to be very interested in working with interns. I've got about 4 projects right now that are in development and working. We're in the finance process right now, so hoping to do some work out here, film actually out in College of the Desert, out in the desert. So just again, very excited to be a part of the whole program. Thank you.
All right, Stephanie, thank you. And for any of you who are interested in learning more about our instructors, you can go to the College of the Desert Arts and Media webpage, and there's bios on each instructor. And yeah, I'm very proud of everyone who is here today and all the work you've done. One thing I want to say to teachers that are here and students, our faculty are so approachable. And, we want students to reach out. We're here to help you succeed. We're not here to scare you or try to steer you in a direction you don't want to go into. We are here to break it all down for you, show you what you need to do to get the jobs and the experience you want, whether that means, getting in the industry after 2 years or transferring to a 4-year film school. We are here and we're going to try to give you the best advice possible. And every student has an individual, unique pathway they want to take. And that's what, we want you to all take advantage of. So again, thanks to all the faculty. And any questions? I think, Louisa, we could probably open it up to any questions that students or teachers might have.
Yes, definitely. We don't have a lot of time, about 8 minutes, but if you want to unmute yourself and ask a question, this would be the time.
Well, I'll go first. I don't see anyone else jumping off. All right, I'm Troy Berry. I teach at Hemet High School in Hemet. I teach video production classes as well as 3D animation. I really like what I hear. I actually did invite all of my students to attend. I don't see any of their names, but they're kids. With that, we have articulation agreements with MSJC and RCC, Riverside Community College, for my digital media classes as well as the film production class. And so, I hear that you're in, Mr. Martin does dual enrollment. I've never done dual enrollment. I know there are some teachers at Hemet High that do. I really haven't looked into that. To me, I'm more of an articulated, allows a student, if they have a A or a B and they qualify, that they could still get college credit. So I'm interested in getting information on this. So
I can help you with that. I helped set up the other schools that we have for the film program, at least the film program part of it. So please feel free to email me. My email address is in there. It's just vsassone@collegeofthedesert.edu. Help you work with Prudence Chase, and we can get the whole ball rolling to get you, the equivalency of what we're teaching. We've got 2 courses that we're doing now. One is Film Production 1, Film Production 02A, which is Film Production 1, and we're also doing Intro to Film, which we just started, and we're doing that one at one high school this semester, but hopefully at others as well too. In any case, happy to help you.
Because I see the advantage of doing this is that I can get my students, just like Mr. Martin there, feeding into your college.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's
I have a comment to make. It's Brian Thompson who's in charge of our dual enrollment at COD. So he would be the one to contact as far as the dual enrollment, concurrent enrollment. And students can actually work through him to take classes in film and digital media directly. I have a few students who are taking my DDP 100 class, Introduction to Digital Art. And they are taking the classes to get credit, and the credit that they earn at COD is doubled at some of their districts. So they get double credit for the class that they take. So that's something to look into. But also, I'm available as well if you have questions, Troy.
Well, I'm just going to go ahead and type in my email address, and that way I'm going to have you guys contact me. So that way it'll make it easier. There you go. So that way, if you can send me information, because, hey, I like what I'm hearing here, and whether they go to MSJC or College of the Desert, it doesn't matter to me. I want to give my students options where, hey, what is interesting to them? And then that way they can carry it on.
Great. I think we have time for one or two more questions. Does anyone else have something they'd like to ask? Okay. Well, if not, I just, it's funny. I thought it would be a great idea to bring us all together and explain the program and publicize it. I thought it was a great program. I come to find out it's an incredible program. And I think the amazing lineup of instructors and the collective wisdom and experience, I'm blown away. So I'm really glad that we took the time to do this. Thank you for being so generous with your time and creating this webinar. Probably tomorrow I'll go ahead and trim this, close caption it. And when it's done, I'll send it out to all media arts teachers in the county. So if Mr. Martin or Mr. Berry want to share this with students, it'll be up on our webinar page and they can make that available during their classes, because it is very difficult during our asynchronous time to get students online for such an event. So anyway, I'm really grateful to everybody for their time, for those of you that attended, for those of you that presented. I'm glad to know more about the program myself. And I think it's just really about, making accessible, excellent program that's affordable and helps students realize their dreams. So that's it for me. Do you want to wrap it up, Laura-Lee?
Just thank you for everyone. Again, there's so much opportunity in the Coachella Valley. We're close. I'm hearing that the schools that have attended are relatively close in proximity, but yeah, the film industry, more people coming out here from LA with our, media outlets. It's exciting. And a lot of people, during the pandemic are trying to get out of the city and move to Coachella Valley. So great place to start, get experience, learn, and maybe even get jobs. So that's the ultimate goal.